Good morning. It's Charlene, one half of the Flights of Fancy Stitchers. Today is the 14th of January. Happy birthday to one of my besties. I love you. And today is video number 153. So I have quite a bit to show because I have been participating in the Bringo Challenge this month, which is the Magazine Monthly Challenge. And so I have quite a bit to show. And that being said, I didn't plan on coming back today, but it's Tuesday, yay! And I also had time because Preston's back on days, Dalton is working today, and I needed to get this done before I run over to the bookstore to pick up some payment for books that sold over the holidays. If you're interested in the books that I'm talking about, I am an author. The link is down below for my Etsy shop and my Amazon page if you are interested in a good thriller. And then we also have our project bags and our zipper pulls that Morgan makes that are also listed in there on our Etsy page. So to get started, I have lots to cover. I have lots of notes, so we'll get going. I have tea in my quilting cup and we're ready to go. So I will start off with the haul. I had some DMC thread that I picked up, but I've already put it into the projects that it needed to go into, so I don't have anything of that to show. But I did get my Floss Frenzy from the Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm getting the Weeks Dye Works collection. So lots of beautiful colors there. I need to get my files updated because I'm sharing the ones that I have duplicates of. I'm sending to Morgan, and I need to get that done and get her sent to her because I have, I don't know, 2 or 3 months worth to go through. So, all right, ornaments. I have 2 to show. Remember, we're doing one for all of the other projects I have, and then we're doing one just for the jellies. And so I'll show you the jellies when I show you that project. But this is my ornament currently with just my regular projects. And it is getting full. I did not plan on having the kind of stitching month that I've had so far, but it's been very productive. So obviously year and, excuse me, month will be the same. Right now, this is as of last night's stitching. So as of the 13th, I am at 10,037 stitches for the month. So very happy with where I'm at. All right, so I will bring up my handy dandy calendar here with all of the lists of the projects, and I will try really hard to do these in order from the last time that I came to you guys. So on the, let's see, on the 4th, the Bringo Call was a Wizard's View, which is a Joan Elliott project that I started a long time ago. And that's this project. And it's in this cross-stitch book. I've also made this dragon. I know that you can sometimes find excuse me, that project on eBay, or excuse me, that book on eBay, but it's not cheap. I remember cruising through, I was looking for some other things and it had popped up and it was over $100. So I know that they're out there, but if you're going to pay for them. So I worked on, so this is the whole project. This is where I'm at. And I worked on, let's see if I can hold this up, the black down here in the border, and then I worked on 2 different turquoises in his cloak. And I ended up doing 125 stitches. So this one probably won't come back out again now until, I'm not positive when the anniversary date is for this one. I didn't grab my form or my spreadsheet, but It will definitely come out in July because I am planning on doing Joan in July. And I have, let's see, I have one, I either have 3 or 4. I think I have 4 Joan Elliott projects going. So my plan is to divide those up so each project gets a week in July so it can get some love. All right, next up is on the 5th. The call was for number, I didn't write down the number, but it was for Spring Art Nouveau. This one is actually on my Bringo board for a finish this year. I think it's actually the January Whipgo board for a finish. So it's this project here, and I have all 4 of these started. I have this one finished, and I put in 117 stitches on this one. And this one I try to sew the yellow, well, I try to sew the colors before I sew the black so I don't get the fuzzies in it. And I'm trying to remember, I know I worked on the black and came up here, worked on this down here. For some reason I'm thinking I worked up here in yellow, if memory serves me right. So yeah, I want to get this one in. I found some really pretty daffodil fabric to make it into like a little quilted wall hanging to decorate seasonally. I done that with the chrysanthemum one or poinsettia. What is it? Poinsettia. To have up at Christmas, well, for winter. So yeah, that was nice. Hey Daubers. Yeah. She's going, I have the sewing room door open to let some heat out from in there, and she has to go and investigate. All right, so next up that I had on the 6th, it's called for something with a bird, I think was the prompt. And so I pulled out my St. Patrick's Day bird, my wee ones. Are you playing with my chair? There we go. And I did pretty good on this one. I ended up getting 113 stitches. And I had made good progress on this the last time I had it out. So this is just a piece of kind of a, I guess it would be a cream Aida, and then I took it and just did a real quick sink dye with some green. And so I gave it just a real pale shade of green to complement the holiday. So I worked on this green here and brought this down, and then I picked up this brown, sable I think is the brown, and came over here and then brought his leg down and done his feet and then came back up a little bit. So I'm really loving these. I finally was able to get the winter beads ordered or buttons ordered for my winter bird, because it's on my Whipco board for January for a finish. So yeah. All right, next up was Pandemic, which I know you guys have seen this one before. And this is the 3rd time that I've started this one. So hopefully 3rd time's the charm. I am doing this in shades of blue, and I'm really liking it. It's a process. You know, you have to count yourself and keep yourself accountable being on the diagonal. But this is a piece of 18 count that Morgan dyed. I'm trying to remember what all colors she used. I know she used tan and maybe camel. She used 2 or 3 different colors to get what I wanted. But this is where I'm at on it right now. So I'm using a DMC variegation for the border. And then I've picked, I think, 8 different blues, light to dark, for the, so each row, as you can see it going across. And it's different. It's going to be unique. So we'll see. I had contemplated doing it in purple, but my family prefers blue. And, you know, I make stuff for all of us. So there's a lot of long dogs out there that I could potentially do it in purple. It would work well. Oh, great. Here come the yawns. Okay. So that was on the 7th. So, and I put in 111 stitches on that one. I think I was able to do one row of each color to get that count. All right, the next one that I worked on was Arctic Blast, and this is a Carolyn Manning piece. I have to pull this up because I haven't printed out a cover photo of this one. I need to do that. So this was a freebie in, I want to say 22 that she released, and I think, don't quote me on that, but I think it's still available on her website. Carolyn Manning Designs, I believe. So I put in 112 on this one. And Morgan's doing this piece too. She's a lot further along on hers than I am though. And I did this one, I'm not sure what she did hers on, but I did this one on a 14 count Aida, white Aida. So I think, in fact, I'm almost positive, I worked right in here and then maybe this color here. It only took 2 lengths of thread to get to the 112. And this one would make a really nice travel piece too, because it's in Pattern Keeper. So, and it's such a joy to stitch. I'm not looking forward to all the whites, but I am loving all those blues that are there. They're just gorgeous. All right, next up on the 9th was the Heart Sampler. And I think this one was, the prompt was something with a border. I think. Pretty sure that's what it was. This one is out of Cross Stitch Collection. You've seen this magazine several times because I'm also working on the thatch cottage that's in this one. But the Heart Sampler is this one here. I love that. This is the reason that I bought the magazine to begin with. And then I fell in love with the Thatch Cottage, and then I was going to make the carousel horse for a friend because she collected carousel horses, but she kind of gravitated away from those. So I'm thinking that if I ever have grandkids, that would be a really cool addition for a baby's room. If that's a long ways away. All right, so I worked on the floral border because the last time I worked on it, I was able to get the side borders down. So I put the 2 pinks in the flower and then the 2 dark greens and then all of this green here. And I ended up with 125. And yeah, this one's on a 14 count white Aida as well. So my pins are for my counting. I don't have anything fancy. I think I explained this in the last video that I just use the my sewing pins that are too small because I like the longer pins for my quilting and my clothes when I'm sewing. And I'll try and strategically place this so I can show you, cover up all the patterns. So I have both of those projects in this bag. This is one that I made. So very fun, very fun. Okay, next up was the morning stretch, and I don't think I have a picture of that one either. This is a Ruth Thompson piece that was with Haid. She is no longer with Haid. Her pieces have been retired, but I know that she is with Thread Geeks, I believe is who she is with now. And she doesn't have all of her pictures, but she's got quite a few. And I actually got to meet her this summer at Renfest here in Colorado. She's a really neat lady. But I'm making this one for Dalton. This will be his graduation gift from college. So I've got a couple days to get it done. When I say a couple, I'm being facetious. I've got, like 3 years, but still, I need to get it done because it's not a small piece. So this is where I'm at on it. And the shiny is the cranic that it calls for. And I worked basically in these grays right here. And I put in 177 stitches. So I did quite a bit of these grays here. There might have been a purple or two, but I think it was mostly in the grays. So when I get done with my sal, my hate sal that I'm working on to get done with the challenge part of it as far as the page count that you need to do, then I'm going to work that one in there to give that one more focus time. Because I think that one's got like 160, 170,000 stitches. So it's a pretty decent sized piece. Let's see. Next up was my Rainbow Village. And this is the one that Morgan and I started together when she was home for Thanksgiving. And this is another one I need to show you a picture of. There's a lot of full coverage this time, which is nice because I like to touch them and give them some love since they are big pieces. So Morgan found this one on Tam Stitches, T-A-M Stitches on Etsy, and she has got some really cool stuff, but this one just screams Dr. Seuss, Whoville, Horton Hears a Who. Like this just, I just love this. And I'm not a pink person at all, but I love it. And I finally got all my threads. I've got to finish getting some of them bobbinated. So I put in, like I said, 100 stitches, and basically the 100 stitches, I was missing a couple colors right here in this corner, and then I did this big old swath of this turquoise that I was missing. So yeah, I love that. It's such a pretty piece. And this is not in my rotation, in my full coverage rotation, because I had made my plans before I started that, but hopefully it will come out sooner than later and get some more love. It's a small piece. It's only 40,000. So, which, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but in the world of full coverage, it's really not. Or at least I don't think so. Not considering that I have a couple that are well over 200,000. So, to me, it's not. All right. The next one was on the 12th. This one was stitched on something that has words. And so on the 12th, this is what was the number that was drawn. And it's Scary Witches. And this is a whole series by Stony Creek. Let me see. This one's. And I have all of the parts of it except this one. I've already sent this one to Morgan because she's doing this too. And I put in, let's see, I worked on her hat. So I already have the first one done. So there's the Ghosts and Goblins. And then, and this is the piece of called for fabric for the kit. I don't remember what it's called, but it was with the, you could buy it with the pattern and the buttons and all that good stuff. So when we got it all together. So I worked on her hat, brought her hat up there, and then brought it on down around here. And then I did the eyes, and then I did the bottom of door. And this one is on my Whipco board for a finish this year because my my goal is to finish this one so then I can start on the third one to have as a focal piece for next year. Maybe by 2030 I'll have it done so I can hang it up and make it into like a bell pull or some such. All right, so I don't know if I've shown you this project bag or not. It's just scrap pieces of Halloween fabric that I sewed together. Nothing fancy. Okay, where are we at? Let's see. Yesterday, I put 120 stitches into that. I don't know if I said that or not. Yesterday was stitch on something by a non-US designer. And this designer is actually in South Africa. I think Morgan found her, I want to say in 20. Or maybe this was one that, actually, you know what? I don't think Morgan found this one. I think this is one that a friend of ours told us about, Nicole at Stitching Happens. I don't think she does videos anymore, but she used to have a YouTube channel. I know she's got a Facebook group because Morgan and I both belong to that. But she is a very avid collector and lover of giraffes. And I'm pretty sure that she told us about this one. I think the rainbow one, that was the one that Morgan found, or not rainbow, but like floral, different colors and whatnot, I think. Can't remember. I've slept since then. Anyway, this is Gimma the Patriotic Giraffe. And if you've if you've been with me for a while, you saw that last year I finished the beach giraffe. She had a surfboard and all kinds of good stuff. So on this one, I love their purple eyes. Just cracks me up. Very Elizabeth Taylor. Anyway, so I worked some more of the blue in her hat, finished her ears, so now she can hear us. And then I came down here and I worked on her sleeve. So just blue and brown. And that gave me 125 stitches. So, excuse me, goodness. Today's pull was A Good Marriage. It's a Lizzie Kate. And so it will need at least 100 stitches. So I'll work on that probably while I'm waiting for this video to upload. And I've showed you guys this bag before too. Just a patriotic bag. And it was a recycle because I had one of my coffee mill hills in it to begin with. And this is an example of the zipper pulls that Morgan makes. So all different kinds. Go over to our Etsy page and check them out. You won't be disappointed. Okay, so that is all of the Bringo stuff that I've worked on. My 30 minutes a day stitch, my Haid that I'm working on, is Aquarius, and it will get love today and tomorrow, and then because this month has 31, hey Stimpy, this month has 31 days in it, excuse me, I will spin on the 16th to spin a new project to work on for 30 minutes a day for the rest of the month. Full coverage only. So this is in another big bag that I made. This is leftover fabric from a shirt that I made Dalton when he was in grade school. And then just yellow gingham to line it. Yes, I'm talking to the peoples. I know. Mom's silly, huh? Oh, I know. She does the whole paw thing. So this is my Aquarius. Oh, sorry, I didn't move it off the table. It's A Heaven and Earth by Josephine Wall. Excuse me, and I'm making this one for one of my besties because she is an Aquarius baby. And she loves these colors. Some of her favorites. So I have been giving this one anywhere between 100 and 130 stitches a day. And I did make it, I don't know if I showed you guys this, I don't know if I got this far or not, but I did get all the way across to the edge. Nothing like those close borders, close edges. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I haven't got all of the second row done. Looks like I've still got a few holes in there. But I ended up coming back over because I was wanting big swaths to, get a good number count in. So I've been putting quite a bit of love into the moon. And this was where my thread was at when my timer went off yesterday. So like I said, this will get today and tomorrow, and then this will go away. But ironically, I do have this on my Bringo board. So you might see it, well, you'll definitely see it again in the next video. But maybe even the next, depending upon when it gets called. So, but I still need to give it its love today. Again, another one I can work on while I'm waiting for this to upload. Like I said, between 100 and 130 stitches a day on that one. So I don't have an exact count where I'm at, but I know that I'm making good progress on it. All right, next one. So this is my anniversary piece. Again, if you're new here, so I have 14 projects that I don't know what their anniversary dates are. I started them before I started keeping track, or I missed writing down the anniversary dates of when I started them. Put them into a wheel. I put 12 of them into a wheel. One of them is a full coverage, so it goes into the full coverage deal. And the other one is a is my thatch cottage, and it's in the break it into 12. So that's why those two aren't in there. So each month I spin my wheel and I work on this anniversary piece on the days that I don't have anniversary pieces. So for example, so on the 3rd, my pug, it was its anniversary, so couldn't work on it then. And then tomorrow it won't get any love because my Aries piece has its anniversary. And then I have 2 more this month, so it won't get any love on the 21st or the 23rd because I have my necessity and my April fairy that gets love. So didn't have a whole lot of starts in January. It's kind of fun to go through the months and see which months are the busiest. Next month is crazy. I started so many projects in what year was it? Was it in 23? No, it must have been in 22, because February is kind of packed right there in the middle of the month. So, but I also finished a bunch that was in for February too, so that's a good thing. So anyway, the piece that I'm talking about is Stitcher's Haven, and that backstitch is just kicking my booty. Not a fan of backstitch, but I love this piece. It's out of this World of Cross Stitching magazine. It's issue number 204. I used to have a subscription to this, and I wish that I could be more consistent on finding these at the craft stores. Our Barnes & Noble doesn't carry it anymore, and our Joann's, either one of our Joann's that we go to, they don't always have it. So, but anyway, 'tis what it is. So I made quite a bit of progress. Like this one, I've been averaging right around that 100, maybe 110 mark, depending upon how much my thread goes over. But I'm happy with it. I do mostly stitching. I have picked up the backstitch thread and worked a little bit. Picked up some red here that was in this little quilt. I still have a few holes here and there that I need to fill in, but I finally got down. Oh, sorry. So I think, maybe not, but I think I got to the bottom, or I'm within 1 or 2 stitches of the very bottom of the piece. And I actually have a decent border. Maybe I'm to the bottom. I can't, I'm pretty sure I am. Anyway, but you can finally start to see some things. Definitely be able to see the sewing machine. Yeah. Like I said, worked on some backstitch down in here. I can't, well, I guess I could backstitch on the sewing machine and up in there, but I have to fill in quite a bit more down here in this box before I can do too much backstitch in here. So it's getting there. It's getting a lot more love than what it had when I started at the first of the month, because the fabric, it's just a piece of 14 count white Aida. It's very stiff. One of the main reasons though that I did not work on it was because the pattern is very hard to read. It's very tiny, and I kept saying, oh, I'll get it in and get it blown up, and I never did. And so pardon me, last summer I had a whole handful of patterns, and Dalton's like, take them in and get them blown up so you can work on them, because they're setting, which he's absolutely right, they were. And so I took them in and I got them all blown up, and I have worked on all but 2 of them that I had blown up. And it's been really nice to be able to give them some love. This is a bag that I made special for this project because it's going to be around for a while. So, all right, and the last thing that I worked on, and again, I can just give you a total count of, well, I know I'm over 6,000, but this is the Haid Sal, and I am doing the jellies. Jelly World, I guess, is the actual name of it. So, and of course they just released the first 3 pages of it. About there. Yeah, about there. So this is its ornament. I thought with that color palette it would be awesome to have its own ornament. So pretty. And yesterday I did quite a bit. Yesterday I put in it was over 500 stitches. I think it was like 540. I stayed up a little bit later waiting for Preston to get home from work. So this is on a piece of 14 count white Aida. And that's where I'm at. I love, so I post every Friday on my personal Facebook page. And I love how once you take a picture of it, or just like this, how you can see the little squigglies and whatnot of the jellies. I think it's just so pretty. So I've decided that I want to have these 3 pages done before the next one releases, which will be the 1st of April. And to do that, I needed to, that was my goal, was that, okay, I'm going to be done by March 31st. And then we have some plans, and I didn't want to, because I had originally decided that I was going to take this as a travel piece. I'm going to make you sick for just 2 seconds and move my, it's not going to stay. Okay. I had planned on taking it on as a travel project. And I thought, no, because God forbid something happens, my tablet gets stolen, it gets lost, I'm out all that work, and it will be a gift for someone very special. So I don't want to lose anything like that I've worked on. And so I've decided that I need to ramp up the stitches, which means I need to do 384 stitches a day to have it done essentially by mid-March. And then for my travel piece, I am going to take my stitching shelf so I can work on winter until the 20th or 21st, and then I can switch back over and start working on spring. So that can get quite a bit of love. And it's a very good travel piece. It's 14 count, it's easy to read. And yes, it would be, devastating if I lost that one too, but that one's not in for a challenge, and that one's not a gift. That one is for us. So if I have to restart it, I have to restart it. This one though, I just don't want to take a chance of. And if I don't take it, then I won't lose it. Murphy's Law, or as we call it, Nessler's Law. So that is all of my projects that I have worked on. The only Flosstuber I watched this week was Sarah, which seems to be the norm for me anymore because I just don't have time. Just got a lot going on. Like I said, Preston has been on nights since before Christmas, and he's had Sunday was the third day off that he's had since before Christmas, and it's the 13th, 14th, and he's already at almost 70 hours of overtime. So it's been pretty crazy busy, just lots of weather and snow. Dalton's been working a lot of hours, and he's getting ready to go back to school. We're going to take him back up to college on Saturday, and then he'll start back on his classes on on Tuesday. So yeah, it's just been really busy. My plans moving forward, pretty much to stop yawning and get some sleep. That would be nice. Obviously to continue working on the jelly, continue the 30 minutes a day, which I really enjoyed that. And I really like, it seems like, it's only 100, 120, but you stretch that over a 15-day period and you've got well over, 1,500 stitches put in, which is huge. So I'm really happy with the progress that I make on the 30 minutes a day. I'll continue with Bringo. You know what? I can reach that. So that's where my board is right now. So today's, and I think this one is something to do with your name, which, obviously married. So that involves, taking a new name, I guess you want to call it. So I'll work on this one. And after that, I'm getting closer to a bingo. We'll see. So, and let's see what else. And then of course my anniversary piece will continue getting love for the month. And obviously some months the anniversary pieces are going to get more than other months. For example, in October, I think I went out that far. Yeah. In October, I have one anniversary piece. So whatever gets spun for October is obviously going to get a lot of love. But then if that piece is in May, which we both know, Mania and all those other good things, which I had planned on doing Mania this year, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. We'll see what May brings. But look at that one. So whatever piece I get in May, let's see, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days is all they would get in May. So, and most of these anniversary pieces, just like that one, they don't have a whole lot of love. They don't have a whole lot of love in them. So that's the whole purpose of it, is to get as much done on them as I can. This went up a lot faster than I thought. Like I said, I didn't want to leave all these languishing and then, it ended up being a mini whip parade because I had so much to show. I am hoping to come back to you to get back on schedule now, because like I said, Dalton will be on back at school, and even if Preston's on night shift, I'll just film after he goes back to work. So that's my plan, is to finally be back on track. So yay me. Other than that, no news, nothing exciting. Morgan is doing well. She has some news that is job related, but I will not. That's her thunder to share, so I will let her do that. She's hoping to do a video here sooner than later. She's just had a lot going on too. She's been really busy, and of course, you know, that storm that went across the Midwest, they just got hammered, which for us here in Colorado to get, you know, foot and a half of snow, is like, get a shovel. But for Kansas, that's, and the ice and everything, that's a lot. So, you know, they spent 2 or 3 days digging out and recouping from that. So anyway, I think I've said everything I need to say. I appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching our videos and supporting our channel. Please go check out our Etsy shop and my Amazon page. And I think that's it. So until next Tuesday, I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Stay warm wherever you are, or stay cool if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. And just remember that there's always a reason to be kind. Have a great day, guys. Bye.